Good morning. It's Pastor Steve Brownson from Christ Presbyterian Church sitting in for Pastor Steve Meldy this week as we go deeper into the story. This week we are looking at chapter 6 of the story called Wandering. It's a chapter about the wandering through the wilderness that the Hebrews did after Moses led the people out of Egypt. It's a period of about 40 years from the time they left Egypt until just before they entered into the Promised Land. Early in the chapter, we see that the rabble began craving other foods and were complaining about the diet that they had, which in turn caused the Hebrew people to complain about their food. Because you see, the rabble were non-Jewish people who were traveling with the Israelites as they wandered through the wilderness. They could have been Egyptians or other nationalities who left Egypt with the Israelites when Moses led them out. We're really not sure who they were. We just know they were the non-Jewish people. Later in the chapter, we see that some of the Israelite men began having relationships with Moabite women, non-Jewish women who were living in the area in which the Israelites were traveling. And as they began these affairs, they also began to worship the pagan gods of the Moabites. So what we see here is that some of the Israelite people were influenced by their culture, by the culture that they were living in at the time. So as we go deeper this week, I'm wondering how we are influenced by our culture. We live in a very high-tech and complex culture with computers and TVs and movies, Facebook and Twitter, cell phones, texting, many things that distract us in just our day-to-day lives. And I'm wondering how it's distracting us in our spiritual walk with God. So take a deeper this week. Consider the things that distract you from your relationship with God, from praising God and worshiping God, and distracts you from your spiritual development. And then take it deeper and see how it is that you might be able to avoid those things that distract you and influence your relationship, and how you might be able to use those things to better your relationship with God.